The Squid. Slow and steady. That was how he took his strokes. Slow, strong strokes into the water. His hands cut a perfect, symmetrical line in front of him. Methodical, precise. Max liked this place. He liked it in the evening. It was much quieter than during the day. When he first started coming to the pool, he came just after work. It was too crowded, full of screaming kids just out of school, or families and everyone else. Young guys trying to impress any girls watching by jumping off the diving boards and making a nuisance of themselves. He then changed his time to as late as possible. The pool closed at 10 p.m, so he arrived at 9. There were a few people still around, but nowhere near as many. Much more quiet, and Max could get into his lane in the pool and swim with no interruption. It was quiet, and he liked it that way. No one else in the pool. To him, it was like a form of meditation. He would leave work feeling stressed out, as he always did. Go home and eat something light for dinner. No need for heavy meals when he was about to go swimming a couple of hours later. Do some work at home after washing the dishes. No one to disturb him. He got a lot more done in 2 hours in the evening than he did for 8 hours during the day. It was all the interruptions, all the endless chit-chat and needless conversations. He didn't like that at all. But now, in the pool, it was quiet. All he could hear was the hum of the lights above his head. 1, 2. 1, 2. Steady strokes with his arms in the pool. He had the pool all to himself. It was all his. It belonged to him. 15 minutes, Max. It was one of the lifeguards. They all knew him by now. Every evening, they told Max how long he had left before he had to leave the pool. They trusted him. They could see he was a good swimmer, and he would be no trouble to them. One by one, the lights went out as the lifeguard turned them off. The switches made a loud clicking noise in the big space of the swimming pool. Then it was as close to dark as it could get. Just the sidelights left on. Max gave the lifeguard a wave as he reached the far end of the pool and watched as the lifeguard left via the staff door. Max paused for a while and gazed at the surrounding water. It was all his now. Outside, he could make out the steady drone of traffic. He pushed away from the edge and continued swimming. 2 more laps and he would be done. Slow and steady, he made his strokes into the water, turning his head each time to the left to take in more air. He got to the deep end of the pool and in one movement dived under the water, turned and kicked at the wall to propel himself back again. For the final lap, he put more exertion into his strokes, kicked harder with his legs, and within no time at all, he was back at the shallow end. Max waded through the water to the steps, out of the water. He climbed out and shook his head to get the water out of his ears. He made his way to the changing rooms and opened his locker. He dried himself with his towel. He kept his hair very short, so there was never a need to comb it after swimming. It was just so much more convenient to have short hair. A splash from the pool area, like someone jumping into the water. Max tilted his head to listen. Again, another splash. It couldn't be anyone in there. The lifeguards wouldn't allow it. Or would they? Max continued drying his body with the towel. He pulled his phone out of his pocket and checked for any missed messages from work. One from his colleagues asking about a file. Another from a guy at work who had forgotten what time the meeting was tomorrow. Then a louder splash, and then a smell. It smelled of something earthy. It was an unpleasant smell, but not something chemical, a strong, natural smell. What was it? And why the splashing? Max dropped the towel on the bench in the middle of the changing room and stepped back towards the swimming pool entrance. He couldn't make out anything. It was too dark. His hand rested on the wall of the entrance that divided the pool and the changing rooms. He slid his hand against the wall to guide him in the right direction. There was a shadow moving in the pool. Maybe it was the water. Maybe something fell in the pool. Was there a security guard around? They couldn't just leave the place empty. Max stepped into the pool area. The big space seemed too quiet now. The sidelights were off. Someone must have turned them off after he left. He got closer to the water and peered into the pool. Then he saw it. A squid. Its body filled half of the pool. Its legs filled the other half. Max could make out one of the squid's eyes, a large black inky mass that seemed as big as his body. Max froze on the spot. He slowly turned his head and could just about make out the squid's tentacles slithering around by the side of the pool. Its large suckers, like huge discs, slid across the tiled surface. One tentacle was as far as the window. It wiped the entire surface of it with one stroke. Then a splash, and from out of the dark, a tentacle slipped out of the water and around Max's ankle. It twirled around his lower leg and gripped fast with a strength that Max had never felt before. He drew in a lungful of breath to call out, but he was too slow. With a firm yank, the squid dragged Max into the water.